What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it again with another Giants general update video. Now it's only been like about a day since I uploaded a video, and a bunch of stuff has come out since then. I already had planned to talk about Isaiah Simmons and his combine performance. I'm going to talk about that in this video. Since my last vid, Yannick is going to be tagged by the Jacksonville Jaguars. It hasn't officially happened yet, but all the reports are saying he's going to be tagged, which solidifies basically his end with the Jaguars, which I'm going to get into. And Jack Conklin yesterday, like almost right after I uploaded my video, rumors started coming out that Jack Conklin might be headed to the New York Jets. Now let's get right into it. I think I'm going to start off with the most recent and then I'll work my way back. So most recent, Yannick Tagged. It's been no secret that he's basically wanted out of the Jacksonville Jaguars for a while now. He's let his sentiment be known since about last year, I want to say. He's let it be known that he either wants to have a big contract extension or he just wants to hit free agency and sign big with a willing team that's going to pay him the amount of money that he believes he's worth. And Jacksonville has been known to say that they don't exactly have the funds or want to put the funds towards Yannick. I mean, I believe they even had to free up cap space just to tag this dude. So it's not like they even had the money, even if they wanted to give him the extension he wanted. Now, Yannick has been a potential target for the Giants in free agency for a while now, and he's still going to be a potential target for us to trade for him, maybe pay him that franchise tag, and see where it goes from there. We don't necessarily have to give him an extension now if we trade for him. But he's been a target for the Giants for a while because he's one of the best defensive pass rushers in this free agency period this year. And that doesn't necessarily mean too much because the pass rushing defensive free agents are not great. They're really good in a Shaq Barrett and a Yannick Tagged, and Yannick is younger. Yannick is more consistent. But I've said this before and I'll say it again, he's good, not great. Now then, listen. This was just like a couple days ago, or maybe even less than that, I think, that he tweeted, this was this morning, my bad. He tweeted this morning that he has no interest in a long-term deal with Jacksonville. And I quote, "The Jaguars are aware I no longer have interest in signing a long-term contract in Jacksonville. Duval, I love you and I gave everything I got. I'm thankful for the journey and I look forward to continuing my career elsewhere." And then the Jaguars are planning to tag him. This is something we've seen more recently, more frequently recently in NFL years past, with last year and years before, where teams don't just let their big pass rushers go. What they do is they tag and they trade them. And that's exactly what I believe is going to happen here. Jacksonville is going to use the tag and then they're going to trade him to a willing team because it's better to do that than to let him walk for absolutely nothing. This is still a good player and a nice puzzle piece on the Jaguars team, no matter what you say. So it's in their best interest to try and get something out of it. Now then, like I said, do I think the Giants will make a move? I'm not sure. I think it all depends on the price. As I basically for anything in this offseason, everything depends on the price. I would not give up anything more than a third rounder for him. And I would, in a better situation, I would be willing to give up a second rounder, but not this year because we have too many holes. And that second round pick could potentially fill one of our many holes. Now, we'd be filling up the pass rushing hole on our defense, and we could get some linebackers and offensive linemen. But I just feel like we need to use our draft capital to our advantage because he might be a rental player. Even if we do get him, we didn't want to sign him in free agency. What makes you think that it would be a good idea to extend him? That's my way of thinking. If we trade for him, he's going to be a rental player most likely, much like the Jadeveon Clowney was for the Seahawks, and he might not be going back there. I'm only saying might because it hasn't happened yet. Nothing is final until pen meets paper, but he was essentially a rental player from the Seahawks, and now he's off in free agency, you know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I would not trade for Yannick, because in the end, you're still going to have to give him the big bucks, and I don't think he's worth the big bucks. So might as well, stick with your plan, stick with not taking him, and go with whatever you think is best in the draft. Now that also relates to the Jack Conklin news, which is it's been rumored that Jack Conklin is going to the Jets. Jack Conklin is also somebody else who's been, not necessarily demanding, but he wants an absorbent amount of money. But unlike Yannick, I do believe Jack to be worth the money because he is the best free agent tackle in the class, and amongst the NFL, he's one of the best tackles in general. So he's definitely worth the money that he's going to be demanding. I was willing to pay him that. I still am. I still hope he comes to the Giants. Now, if somehow we get to sign him, I don't want him to be signed to like a $20 million contract or something like that. Like, that's a little much. That's, pass rusher money. I'm not sure if, I'd be willing to pay $20 million a year to a tackle. It might come to that, but it's definitely going to be a tough pill to swallow. Either way, like I said, I am willing to pay Jack the money more so than I am to pay Yannick the money. Now, given that he's demanding this much, it's no surprise that there's rumors linking him to the Jets. The Jets, year in, year out, seem to have a bunch of money to spend, even if it, even if their cap space says they don't. Last year, they spent big in free agency. This year, they don't have nearly as much money as they did last year. But I believe they could still make some moves. They could still make, some contract restructuring. Or maybe they could just spend all their money they have in free agency on Jack Conklin and then leave the rest of the, like $10 million or so to the draft. Whatever the case is, the Jets have always been a team that's willing to pay a lot of money for players. Like, no matter if they're good, bad, great, terrible, whatever the case is, no surprise there. Now, then I would like to say, different from the Yannick situation, in which everybody's basically sure what I said is going to happen. With the Conklin situation, this has only been a rumor. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. All we know is that one NFL team has been informed that he plans to sign with the Jets. We don't have anything else than that. We won't even find out anything else until free agency actually begins, which I think is somewhere mid-March. I don't know the exact date, but it's just a report that says, hey, maybe they've talked or maybe Jack has already decided. We don't know. All we know is that there's a report out there that says, there's a source out there that says an NFL team has been informed that he plans to sign with the Jets. That's it. This could be a complete rumor because, like I said, it's only one source. It could be completely true. Who knows? Whatever the case is, if it's a smokescreen used by Conklin's used by his agent, it's a pretty good one because the Jets, it's very believable. Like I said, they need the offensive line help, and they would be willing to pay him that amount of money that he deserves. But it's also we don't know. So he could just be using this to get more money. You know what I mean? Even if it's true, he could be using it to get the Jets more money because his agent could tell them, oh, since the reports came out, we got teams chomping at the bits for my guy in Conklin. Whatever the case is, it's just a report. I like to put that out there, and as a result, I don't really have much to say about it. You guys already know my opinion on Conklin, and I've had a couple of videos on the channel up about why we should sign him, up about how if we do sign him, we don't need to necessarily attack tackle in the draft. We got our right tackle. We have our left guard, right guard. We probably get a center in the draft. Leave Solder at left tackle for now, as next year we could definitely cut him and then tackle left tackle in next year's draft. Taking Conklin in free agency really opens up the doors to focus on the defense, the middle linebacker position, focus on everything else on the team. You know what I'm saying? The same could be said for if we get a pass rusher in free agency, but tackle, like I said, a lot of people, including myself, are more willing to pay that money towards the tackle rather than to an average pass rusher. So if we do get him, it's kind of the perfect situation. We could do whatever and anything basically in the draft and fix the team up. But the report is out for now that he's headed to the Jets. And last but definitely not least, the NFL Combine. Isaiah Simmons put on an absolute show. Listen, much like I said about Tristan Wirfs, and truth be told, I will not lie to you guys, this topic and what Isaiah Simmons did at the draft deserves its own video, but the only reason I cannot give it to you is because of my time constraints. You guys already noticed, it's an old song. I'm just going to be really busy this semester. I've been super busy this semester, and a lot of news came out. That's why I'm compiling it into one video, but I want to put that out there. Simmons deserves his own video. What he did in the Combine is not being overlooked by me. It's not being hated on by me. That just needs to go out there because misconceptions happen all the time. I've countlessly said that Isaiah Simmons is the second best defensive player in the draft, and if he were to fall to 4 at the New York Giants, he will be the best player available at the draft. I just don't think we draft him if we didn't address the offensive tackle position in free agency. If we're going into the draft and we don't have a new right tackle on board, we take that right tackle because it's the more important position. It's the more impendent need at the time, as saying that we have a young quarterback in Daniel Jones who needs to be protected, and a Saquon Barkley whose career is not going to last long, and we spent a second overall pick on him, so let us not look like fools and let us not waste the little career that he has by, not protecting him. Offensive tackle is currently, and I will never waver from this point, a more important position than getting a pass rusher or a stud defensive player. That's just me. I know Isaiah Simmons will be the best player in the draft if he drops to number 4 overall, and he just solidified that at the Combine. This guy, who is taller than DK Metcalf, heavier than Roquan Smith, jumps higher than Julio Jones, and now is like faster than Devin Hester. He is an absolute monster. 6'3", 238 pounds of pure muscle, runs a 4.39 at the 40-yard dash. That's faster than like 99% of the tight ends in the league, if not all the tight ends in the league. I don't need to go through it to know that he's probably the fastest linebacker in the league right now. You kidding me? That's a wide receiver number 4.39? Faster than tight ends? That's who he's going to be guarding. We're going to be, if whatever team takes him, and the only way he's going to have the success he has in college is if they used him in a similar way, that being he's going to be all over the field, in middle linebacker, in the blitz position, in that strong safety role, in sometimes covering even a slot receiver role. When he's doing that, bro, it's over for the offense, man. Like, this guy, 4.39, that's wide receiver speed, that's tight end speed. He's going to be able to keep up and even surpass some of these guys on the field. And don't even mention when you're blitzing, he's going to come so fast, and he does have strength to him. I don't like that he didn't bench, because I want to see how strong he is on the bench press. I'm not even going to spend too much time on that just because of how impressive he was everywhere else. Imagine him blitzing down with that speed. Alright? Just imagine. He's going to be in the quarterback's face before you know it. Isaiah Simmons is the best linebacker in this draft, hands down. He is literally the second best defense player in the draft and probably the third best player in the draft overall. This guy is absolutely crazy, and any team would be lucky to have him. I will not be mad if the Giants draft him. I just think a position is, offensive tackle is more important than the versatility that Isaiah Simmons brings. If we do take him, of course I'm going to be jumping up and down. This guy is crazy. He's the most versatile player in the draft. He will slide right into the new Giants system that isn't even a system because of the amount of things that Patrick Graham's plans to run. He's already going to be able to cover all the wide receivers that, all the slot wide receivers in the league and all the tight ends in the league when he's dropping back. And we already know about his football IQ. He has amazing football IQ, amazing vision on the field, just amazing almost like everything. And he could blitz, he could get to the quarterback, he could play that middle linebacker position. The linebacker position will already be lifted up a lot if we take a Isaiah Simmons and we have him and Orion Conley returns and continues at the level that he left off at. We have 2 good linebackers back there at the middle linebacker position. And, that's it. I mean, we could get another good one in the draft, maybe sign a cheap one in free agency like a Kyle Van Noy or a Corey Littleton. And just like that, the linebacker group is like a snap, just reset. Listen, like I said, I would love to put an entire video to Simmons, but it goes without saying that he rose on everybody's draft boards if he wasn't already like near the top of it. Like, let's keep it real. If we're gonna list off best players in the draft, it goes Chase Young, Joe Burrow, Isaiah Simmons. I mean, I don't see who you put ahead of him. I wouldn't put Jeffrey Okudah ahead of him, even though Jeffrey Okudah is definitely in that top, 7, top 5. I wouldn't put him ahead of Isaiah Simmons just because of the versatility that Simmons brings and because of what he showed off here at the Combine. So, I mean, if he wasn't already near the top, he's definitely at the top now, and it's definitely made it more difficult for him to drop to the Giants. I really don't see that happening anymore. I mean, if I was in the Detroit Lions position, I don't know why I would take Okudah over Simmons. Yeah, they definitely need cornerback role, but Simmons is just so good. You know what I mean? They don't have any impending needs at offensive line like the Giants do. They don't have, a young developing quarterback like the Giants do. But they definitely have a need a linebacker. I don't see how he drops to the Giants unless the Lions are just so in love with Okudah. They definitely see something there that I don't. And once again, I have to say this too, because I had to say it in the past. I'm not hating on Okudah. It's just the fact that Simmons is better than him. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that's what I got for y'all today. Yannick being tagged. He's definitely going off the Jaguars. I would not trade for him if I were the Giants. Jack Conklin rumored to go to the Jets, and that's it. Nothing but a rumor. And Isaiah Simmons putting on possibly the best show at the Combine and just proving what he is. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you all think. Quick update video for y'all. I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out.